Time for the ride home in ENC.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
This is your 5 o'clock drive with Patrick Johnson.
Holy mackerel!
More news, more interviews, more ECU stories than you can shake a stick at. Hey, stop shaking that stick. This is the Patrick Johnson Show.
Pirates win! Pirates win!
On 94.3 The Game.
Is that a new open, Dom? I guess that's what that is, huh? How about that?
You know, I just went on PJ's show, and that was the 5 o'clock open. Maybe that was the wrong one, or maybe we got a new one. I'm doing something right.
I'm guessing that's a new open. We didn't even have an open yesterday, for crying out loud.
Okay.
Dom Kasulki is here. Welcome to the Patrick Johnson Show. There he is.
Hello.
In his Celtic green. Did you ever watch the Celtics
Still haven't.
series yet?
I'm too depressed right now about the actual Celtics going on, not the past Celtics. So down 2-0. But
you may need a little bit of current or of Celtic pride and Celtic tradition.
Yeah.
Perhaps uplift you. I think the C's are done, bud. I hate to tell you.
I think you're wrong. I think you're totally
Okay.
wrong. I think there was 2 choke jobs, but they play better than the Knicks have.
Can't go down 0-2. Can't go down 0-2 going to New York.
They're 33-8 on the road. I think they're a better team on
They're-
the road. They did.
They're not evening the series in New York.
I think they are.
I don't think they are.
I think they are. I think
They're going to
will.
get a split. They're going to get a split in New York. It'll go 6 games. That's my prediction, Dom.
And you can have yours, and mine is that the Celtics win in 7.
Okay.
I think
Could happen, but I don't think it will.
It's been
Tough to come back. Tough to come back from 0-2. By the way, Jason Tatum looked like
Yep.
the waiter spilling the drinks.
Yeah,
going for the game winner.
He looked awful last 2 games, but he's looked bad before, and he's back against the wall. He comes back through, and he goes and wins games. And I believe in him. I will never stop believing.
Congratulations to our Dom Kasulki, who, if you're with us on the part of the vast video audience, looks like a young Howard Stern from Private Parts. He always has.
Apparently, I do.
Kasulki, and that's not a bad thing, Dom.
I think we're going to lose.
It's not a bad thing. Kasulki is graduating tomorrow. Do you have a hard hat in case there's hail falling during the outdoor portion of the graduation at Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium?
I have my cap, so that's the hard hat. I guess it'll save me from hail. Is there hail on the forecast? I thought there was some.
Well,
rain.
I understand there's going to be storms tomorrow in the forecast.
Of course there will be.
Right,
Perfect
and of
time.
course there will be storms as I'm going out to Granger Stadium tomorrow.
Yep.
For the Bird Dogs season opener. We'll be doing the show out there from 5 to 5:45. So I'm not even doing the full hour tomorrow. Dom, make sure I'm getting the full pay. Let's check on that before things get
I'll talk
for
to
that
Hank
rumor
and
gets
Henry.
started.
Yep.
And we'll be out there live. Be talking to the. I'm trying to get one of the principals in the ownership. I'm working on that for tomorrow. A guy named Bill Ellis. I'd love to have Bill on because he's got a great history of baseball in Kinston and really did a lot to try to save it, which they have. So we'll be out there tomorrow. Today on the show, I'm very excited. Maeve English in the studio a little bit later on. And one of our favorite guests, Pilkington, has booked him. Jonathan Wagner, Wags, is going to be with us to talk some college baseball from On3 Sports. By the way, Pilkington sent me something.
Okay.
Like, I'm going to be away next week. Now, granted, I'll be working in part, but I'm taking a lot of time off from other work. And I will not text you. Well, I'll have to kind of deal with Pilk because I guess I'm planning on doing the show possibly Thursday and Friday next week.
Okay.
Because I'll be in Florida with the baseball team. Dylan Johnson's going to be out, so I'll be doing the games next week from Tampa at USF.
Fun.
When they take on the Bulls Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But I'm not taking any of my other work with me, which usually if I go on the road I try to work something. But I decided I'm not going to do that. Now, if I were going to Wichita, I'd probably just be holed up in a hotel and working.
Yeah.
But or Tulsa, even though Tulsa I know doesn't have baseball, but I'm just saying. With this situation, though, with this sitch, I decided I would go enjoy the trappings of Tampa Bay. But anyway, Pilkington texts me. He's made this huge deal about he had to leave at a certain time so he could beat the traffic because Pilkington's like an old man or an old woman. He doesn't like traffic. And I mean,
Who does?
traffic's nobody, but I mean, it's comes with the terror. He's like, got to beat the Raleigh traffic. It's like my buddy, the Ebb. The Ebb would used to say, I ain't going to drive on the Beltline after 2:00. I mean, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
And having lived in places with traffic, I mean, it sucks, don't get me wrong, but it comes with living in these big places or traveling to work in these big places. Anyway, so Pilkington texted me some goofy question to ask Wags from the message board.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if Pilkington listens to the show, because I will not I'm not going to credit any message board people with anything. You talk about a group of zeros in life. People that sit behind a keyboard or on their phone, just a group of zeros.
Yeah.
So sorry, Pilk. Go enjoy whatever it is you're going to do on your Tiffany vacation this round. I'm not going to ask Wags. I like Wags too much. I'm not going to ask him some ridiculous question. We will ask him about college baseball, though. We have a new home run queen. Yas Queen at ECU. It is Emma Jackson. She set it last night against Memphis with a tying home run. Gives her 19 in the single season. That is the all-time record at ECU. And then hit her 20th, which she hit on top of the batting facility.
Oh, wow.
At USF. About halfway down the batting facility. Pretty good poke. Slammed them both. Pirates taking on Charlotte presently in the tournament. So congratulations to her. Pirates are playing well in that regard. We've got ECU baseball coming up tomorrow. It will be Friday. Yeah, it is tomorrow. Today's Thursday. Gosh. It'll be East Carolina and UTSA tomorrow, 6:00 first pitch. They have announced that they're going to do the introductions on Senior Day at about 3:35 on Saturday, and then have the on-field and video presentations starting around 3:40 or so. They'll recognize the UTSA seniors, do a video, and then recognize the seniors for ECU. So if you want to take that in this weekend, by all means, make your way and get your seat early. I would say be in the seat by 3:30. Could that be altered with the possibility of weather? We'll see. We'll let you know, of course, and update you on everything on our social medias. Let's see. Canes play tonight. Speaking of up in a series, trying to take a commanding lead, Canes looking for the first two games on the road in Washington, of course, winning the other night in overtime. We'll talk to Wags a little bit about that. 2-1 was the final, and they're trying to take a 2-0 series lead. My Carolina Hurricanes.
Now
So
they're
that
yours?
is the run. What's that?
I said now they're yours in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. When they're in the playoffs and winning, I claim them.
Oh,
Mine.
of course. Okay, yeah.
Carolina
Biggest
Hurricanes.
fan.
Oh, no, I'm a front-running phony when it comes to hockey. I'm like a lot of these other fans year-round. When it comes to hockey, I'm playoff hockey front-running phony PJ. I don't deny that. Never have.
And that's why I'm sticking. That's why
Carolina
I'm-
Hurricanes become my Carolina Hurricanes. Who do you root for in hockey?
Oh, no. I mean, I'm rooting for the Hurricanes in hockey, but I'm saying I'm not
Okay.
front running. Celtics down 0-2. I'm repping them.
Well, no, you're complaining, and you should watch the Max thing so you can get hype with a little Celtics magic.
No, the Celtics Magic I'm about to watch live for the next 4 games.
Not happening, dog.
It's happening.
They're not winning 4 in a row.
I guess you'll
Lose
have
in
to watch
6.
with me. All right.
Lose in 6 is my prediction. It's tough to go back to back. Tough to go back to. By the way, you were graduating tomorrow. The ceremony's at 10.
Yes.
Inside of Dowdy Ficklin Stadium, and then you have a separate ceremony later in the day or Saturday for the comms.
It's back to back, basically. It's at 1:00. That's the first ceremony, and that's at Minji's.
Oh.
So it's,
Okay.
It's just communications and fine arts, basically. Everyone walks on.
And that is the one where we will hear the name of Dominic Eugene.
You don't know my middle name, and you don't know how to say my last name, do you? You should know by now.
Kasolki.
There we go.
Dominic Eugene Kasolki. Is that
Not
what they will
Eugene.
say? Okay.
That's what you
It
said.
looks like a Eugene.
All right.
Looks like a Eugene. So, but will you do the whole name or just your full name,
I'm not
first and
saying
last
it.
name?
I'm not saying
Or
it,
will
so
you?
Who knows?
Will you shorten it? Well, see, when I graduated back in the Stone Ages, you wrote down what you wanted them to say. As you approached the stage, you handed it to the person, and they kind of passed it down the line. And the emphasis was, if you have a funky name, try to phonetically spell it out.
Okay, I'll spell it out for him, and I'm going to do Dominic B. Kasulki. I'm going to do the B in the middle.
Dominic B, as in big shot, big time.
Correct.
Kasulki, who will be back as the voice of the Tarboro River Bandits.
Yep, you got it. I'm excited.
Of all the names I struggle remembering, the Yard Gnomes, the Bird Dogs. For some reason, I can always remember Tarboro's baseball name.
I mean, it's just you match a face to the team, and you're matching my face
That's
to the
what
team.
it is.
So it's easy to remember.
A River Bandit. When does that start?
May 30th.
For you, young Dominic?
May 30th.
By the way, I saw where a couple players, including Parker Bird, are going to be going to play for Edenton this year.
Yeah,
Edenton's in that same league, aren't they?
Yeah, same league. And
it's the rival.
Yeah, they've been rivals for years. I mean, they played in the championship for 3 years straight when they were when they weren't in as big of a league. Now they're in the Old North State League, which is much larger. But they used to be in like a 4-team league, so they were just playing each other almost every day.
Every year, the championship. Yeah.
Yep. Just
are you excited about the? Are you excited about the upcoming season, Dom?
I'm pumped. I love doing it. The play-by-play is super fun, and my face doesn't have to be seen, so I just get to show my voice.
What do you mean your face doesn't have to be seen? What does that mean?
No, it's just easy watching the game without having to have your face. Cameras in your face. It's easy to just watch the game and.
Like, are you uncomfortable now that you're talking on air and that there's a camera in your general direction point? Okay.
Not at all.
All
It's
right.
just if I want to call a baseball game, I don't know if I'd like a camera in my face. That was my point.
And for every baseball and softball game I do, by and large, there is a camera on the booth.
Really?
Yeah, because they use the camera for the stand-up, and it's just sort of fixed in there. Now, I don't think it could see me the whole time, depending on where you're sitting and all of that.
Okay.
But it could see you. So in a sense, you're on camera the whole time.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't mind that. I don't need like a little or like a side box of my face while I'm calling the game. I mean,
Are there guys that do that?
I don't know. I
think you've started a trend. You should do it.
All right. Maybe I'll be the first.
Maybe you'll be the first. All right. Our pal Jonathan Wagner is going to join us here in just a minute. We're going to talk college baseball with him and also talk ECU baseball with UTSA coming to town this weekend. Wags will be on the show from On3 Sports. Good to talk to him. Always enjoy talking to him this time of year. We'll get a little Canes talk going with him as well. And then ECU goalie, one of the all-time greats in ECU athletics, Maeve English, with the championship trophy in the house later on the Patrick Johnson Show. We're hitting a break, and when we come back, we will continue on. Don't you dare go away.
The team of Flatlands Jessup is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed, meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
Are you ready to tackle those yard and garden projects? Come by East Carolina Tractor and Fleet, your local Coyote dealer, and check out their great selection of residential and commercial Coyote tractors. From zero-turn mowers to compact tractors to skid steer loaders, they've got you covered. Some with 0% financing for qualified buyers. Stop by your hometown Coyote dealer, East Carolina Tractor and Fleet, across from the Pitt County Fairgrounds, or online at ectfleet.com. East Carolina Tractor and Fleet. We dig dirt.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Two real burgers, better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout eastern North Carolina. Get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
We're back to the show.
I missed you. We all missed you. Did you miss him?
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
All right, PJ Show back here on this May 8th, Thursday. Thanks for being with us. We'll have Maeve English in just a little bit. We got Wags, Dom?
We do.
All right, Jonathan Wagner on 3 Sports. Wags joins us. I've acquiesced on something here. Pilkington, who has acted like the last few days, he's just too busy to do anything, wanted me to do this. Someone on the Hoist the Colors message board, and I mean, those people, said with all his UNC connections, will he leave Bucks on the Pond? What is that? What is Bucks on the Pond? Your podcast? Oh, we don't have Wags' audio. Can't hear your audio, Wags. Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic, Wags. All right, you there? We might have to have Wags saying, no, we can't hear you, Wags. We can't hear you. All right. We could either get Wags to sign back on, Dominic, or we can try to get him on the phone.
I have his audio.
Well, here I am. Okay, I'm not hearing him. Dom. So maybe it's on your end, Dom. All right, we'll see about Wags. We'll figure it out. We'll work it out. I would sign off and sign back in, Wags, and see if we can get it that way. Just try it again. Dom, whatever, make sure everything's pressed, I guess, to make sure we can get him in.
All right.
So we'll see. And then maybe get Wags on the phone if it doesn't work this time. The beauty. Oh, I hear something now. Wags, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
There we go. Now. You know, and it should. There's 2 things at play here. One, Pilkington isn't that clever, so he would never make that kind of joke. Number 2, he probably mistyped the thing. Because Pilkington, when it comes to writing, not good. We would get these cut sheets when Pilkington would do them, and I swear to you, I thought they were in German because of all the way everything was written out. I mean, it was a literal, you had to think, okay, what are they trying to say here? Just play the damn cut. So I don't, maybe, I just did a joke with you there, Wags. I don't even know what it was.
I think the best way to describe Philip Pilkington is that he's one of a kind. But to answer the message board question, Igo lets me go on rants on his podcast. I don't think they would over there. So I'm going to stay where I'm at.
I don't think you have all these UNC connections. On 3 Sports, the great Jonathan Wagner is with us here. Igo's so prolific. He's everywhere. I like that name, Bucks on the Pond. That's a very clever name for a show. It's pretty good, actually. So, well, let's start with the Pirates, Wags. What Boy, it has been a rough year. I know there have been a lot of injuries. I think no Antolik and no Ryan Towers has certainly changed the dynamic of the pitching staff. And, for my money, I think the hitting has just been too inconsistent. Now, can I put my fingers on, those exact reasons? Not with any education, to be honest with you. But, just the fan eye test, it just seems like they're certainly if there's a lot of guys that struggle hitting a breaking pitch, but there just doesn't have seemed to be any, shall we say, improvement in certain areas at the plate this year.
Yeah, I agree. And I think you could argue that in a lot of ways, some of the offense has gotten worse as the season's gone on. And that's the most concerning part to me is some guys started hot, some young guys especially, and they've kind of cooled off as the season goes on. And typically you'd kind of expect it to be flipped where they take a while to get their footing a little bit. Maybe it's a little too early for them, and then they get better as they get more experience. So to me, that's where my big issue is. And I also think we're seeing just the lack of having a guy like that. We have Dixon Williams, who's the guy in this lineup. And I think he hasn't had the year that people thought he would. He's still been good. He's been productive, and he's gotten better as of late. But I think we're seeing kind of a lack of protection around him. Even last year, you had a guy like Ryan McChrystal and Justin Wilcoxon and those types of guys who could shield him in the lineup a little bit. But now that he's the guy and you don't have him as much help around him, to me, I think that's probably the biggest reason for where things are is just a lack of production around Dixon Williams.
The other funny thing about this too, Wags, is I say funny. I mean, the thing about it, I think you have to factor no Riley Johnson. And I don't think we have been able to really, we know how great Riley is. We know the defense, the Gold Glove, the whole nine. But I just think the day-to-day influence, the business-like approach, the energy, the veteran presence, that to me has been missing as much as anything with this group. And I feel fairly certain, and I'm confident in saying this, that they would, I'm not saying they'd be in first place, but there would be just a greater number of wins if Riley Johnson had been healthy all year, or at least able to play with relative health all year.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. And even though, Riley Johnson's in the dugout with the team, it's just different when he's out there in center field because he doesn't have to be at the plate hitting a home run to make an impact on the team and give you a spark. It's making a crazy play in center field, which he does just about every weekend when he's healthy. And, not having that is huge. And, Alex Peltier has been the guy in center field and he's shown glimpses, but I think he's one of those guys, as I alluded to earlier, maybe he wasn't quite ready to be that everyday center fielder. And you've had other guys who've stepped up. You've kind of had your ups and downs. But, yeah, Riley is he's irreplaceable. And he's never going to be a guy who's go out and hits you double-digit home runs. But, again, his impact is felt in every facet of the game. And even, when he played against Tulane and he returned to the lineup, you saw him beat out an infield single and give your team a spark a little bit. You kind of feel it shift a little bit. So he gets out there, steals bases. He can do everything. So not having him 100%, it definitely takes a leader off the field for you. But again, it does take off one of your best and most proven bats, which has a ripple effect through the rest of the starting nine as well.
Say coming to town 37-10. And I was talking to some, pretty bright baseball people in the preseason, first couple actually weekends. We were talking about UTSA, and they were saying to me, this is a UTSA team that is like some of those old ECU teams in that they just hit the baseball. And you don't want to play a team like this in the regional because of what they can do 1 through 9 in the lineup offensively. So how good do you think UTSA truly is, Wags?
Yeah, I think they're really good. And I think we're going to see that this weekend. I think it's going to be a really tough weekend for ECU. But yeah, UTSA is a team. I don't expect them to host a regional, but I expect them to be a pretty strong two. And wherever they fall, whether it's like I have them in the 1 seed Texas in their regional as the 2. And that'd be a tough draw for Texas, but I think that's probably the most likely scenario for where they go. And I think a team like Texas, from the outside, the fans might be, okay, that's not a bad draw. But when you really look at it on paper, UTSA is a team that's capable of stealing a game against a team like Texas or whoever their one seed in that regional is. So, like you said, they can hit the ball. They can hit the crap out of the ball. And they have enough pitching to where they're going to be able to, kind of guide their way through a weekend in a regional format. So UTSA is good. I think they will be tested a little bit when you get into a regional, but they're legit, absolutely.
If they were to not win the conference championship, which is very, very hard to do, as we've seen with ECU the last few years. I mean, I think the Pirates have maybe done it a couple times under Cliff Godwin. I mean, it can be done, but it's really a challenge to win the regular season and the conference tournament. And truth be told, the American probably would prefer a strong regular season winner like they've had in the Pirates, like they maybe have with UTSA, which is what I'm getting at here. And somebody else win the championship, because then you get a couple teams in. With all that said, if UTSA were to not win the conference championship in Tampa in a couple weeks, or in Clearwater in a couple weeks, is their case compelling enough and strong enough that they would get in as an at-large, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think as things currently stand, they're a lock to be in no matter what they do in the conference tournament. Their RPIs in the 20s, that's more than good enough. And if you come in and they lose a series to ECU and they lose a series to Rice to end the year, and they're still going to win the league, but that might tank their RPI enough. But I don't think that's going to happen, to be clear. But I barring something completely unforeseen, I think they're pretty much a lock to make the postseason. And I'd be very surprised if they're not in, even if they, do somehow drop a series or two down the stretch.
Yeah. Who do you think is a likely candidate to win the tournament? If not UTSA, then who?
If not UTSA, I think South Florida, definitely we've seen it year in, year out. They have the guys that can go win it. And after that, it kind of feels like whoever's hot at the right time. And some of these years where Tulane's won it in the past, nobody would have picked Tulane going into it. So, Tulane's there. I think Charlotte, just really because they have that one frontline guy, it feels like they're guaranteed for a win to start things off, or depending on how they play out that rotation. But Charlotte's a sleeper, even though they're currently third in standings. I do like Charlotte as well. So, but yeah, I really do think it's wide open. And it's one of those things. If you get hot at the right time, I'm not going to really rule anybody out.
Jonathan Wagner on 3 Sports. How many teams out of the ACC get in, do you think?
A lot. Let me count here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right now, I have 9 ACC teams in the field. Oh, wow. And I believe, looking at it, Notre Dame and Virginia Tech are both in my first 4 out, and Virginia is in the next 4 out. So they have 9 in my field right now, and Notre Dame you can make a compelling case for. Virginia Tech just fell out this week, and Virginia's been kind of trending in the right direction as of late. So they have 9, and they have a lot of hosts too. But, I wouldn't be surprised if you end up getting 10 or 11, depending on how things shake out down the stretch.
All right. With Clemson losing to Coastal Carolina, does that drop them out of a national top 8 seed conversation?
Yeah, I think Clemson's a team that, most of the season has felt like a lock to be a top 3 or 4 or 5 seed overall, but they kind of seem to be trending in the wrong direction. And I'm not going to penalize them too harshly for losing a series to Florida State like they did last weekend, but Clemson's a team, they need to get back on track. And, I have them as, I'm going to check to make sure here, but I had them as the 7th national seed heading into this week. But yeah, it's a pretty loaded crop, and the SEC has a lot of teams that have strong resumes too. So they could definitely fall out. I don't think they're going to fall out much further than the top 8 if they do, and they're a lock to host right now. But yeah, they're right there on the bubble for me. But they are in there, and I don't think the midweek loss to Coastal doesn't really move the needle all that much to me, because Coastal is a good team, but Coastal's another one of those teams that I think has a case for a top 8 if a team like Clemson falls out.
Well, the Pirates played Coastal earlier in the year. Where do you see the Chanticleers?
Yeah, well, right now they're a lock to host. They're kind of running away with the Sun Belt, which is crazy because I think, Southern Miss is a good team and Coastal just looks kind of head and shoulders above everyone else with the way they're playing. And I have them as the 10th overall seed right now, and they're behind LSU, Vanderbilt, Clemson, North Carolina, kind of in that tier of teams. But yeah, they're a host. I feel like they're a pretty strong host, and I'd be very surprised if they're not hosting if they continue to run away with the Sun Belt like they currently are.
I'm going to test you a little bit here. I've got Gardner-Webb and High Point this weekend, and High Point out of the Big South. They're going to play. They're going to be playing in the tournament there in the city. They're going to play at the High Point Rockers Stadium, which is a really nice stadium there. So it's not on campus, but it's basically a backyard situation. How good is this High Point team? Do you think that they are the one that will represent? Because unfortunately for Gardner-Webb, they're having a really lousy year. High Point had a tough loss against Charlotte this week in the midweek, but they are throwing. They got a couple of guys. Kid Simpson, I think, is a kid who could probably look at getting drafted. And they have another kid, I think one of their JUCO guys that transferred in that could get drafted. But how good is a team like that? Pirates haven't played High Point this year, but I'm just curious. Since you're all knowing, since I've got them this weekend, I'm just kind of curious to what your read on them is.
Yeah, I think they are a good team, and they're one of those teams that if they win their league, then they're right on the verge kind of being a 4 seed or even jumping up to a 3 seed, depending on how RPI shakes out. But they're good. Do I think they're going to win a regional? No, but if they end up being a 3 seed and they get the right matchup with the 2, then I do think they're capable of stealing a game and getting in the winner's bracket. So I haven't watched a ton of High Point this year. I'll fully admit that, but I do think they're kind of a sneaky team, and they're just another strong team from the Carolinas, which we have a ton of.
You will have your phone out this weekend, I know, and you'll Sunday, and you'll be watching the game I'm doing, Gardner. I know you will, Wags. Big fan.
Definitely.
Wags is. All right, and I'm looking forward to it. They got a nice little park there. I haven't been to the campus of High Point in ages. I want to ask you a little bit about just the depth of the field. We asked you how many ACC teams would get in. How many teams can make a legitimate claim that they will be in Omaha and have a chance to win it all?
Well, I'll tell you what, this year, for the first year in a while for me, I don't feel like there's one clear cut. So to me, that lengthens the amount of the list of teams that I do think can win. But I think if you're looking at it, there's probably 3 teams from the ACC, Florida State, North Carolina, and Clemson, I think are all capable. A team like UCLA or Oregon from the Big Ten, that's 2 more. The Big 12 is kind of weird. They have a lot of teams that look really good, but a lot of teams that also haven't played a whole lot. So I don't see a contender from the Big 12, and then you get to the SEC, and it's just, wow. Texas is really good. Arkansas struggled there for a bit, but Arkansas got back on track against Texas. Georgia looks good. LSU looks good, but they've been a little up and down. Tennessee is trending in the very wrong direction, but Tennessee's still Tennessee, and I still trust them when you get in postseason. So I think there's probably, 10, 12 teams that really feel like they have a legit chance. And I tell you, it feels very wide open right now. I don't think if you told me to pick one team to pick it all, I don't know if I could do it right now just because I do feel like it is so wide open.
Well, it's going to be an interesting weekend. Wags, do you have a thought on the Canes game tonight after they got one in overtime? I think Carolina's the better team. I think they're clearly the much quicker and more athletic team. But, it's been an issue for the Canes in the postseason, especially when they kind of get to this round, that plotting team could make life tough for them and control the pace. But I thought the other night was huge, winning in overtime. So now my Carolina Hurricanes go for a 2-0 lead tonight. Will they get it?
Yeah, well, I'm a big college baseball guy, but the Canes have always been my number 1 team. So I've been a Canes fan diehard through all the bad years, and I was a little nervous.
And you're fine with me, and you're fine with me being a bandwagoner in the playoffs, right? I mean, you're fine with that, right? There's room.
Hey, not everyone is going to be a diehard from every second of every game, but, get people in the building, get people supporting, and I think ultimately that's always a good thing.
All right, there you go. Do they go up tonight? Do they go up 2-0 tonight?
I did not think they would go up 1-0, and I do think the Caps really defend the slot very well, which I think is a big key in forcing the Canes to kind of create offense from the outside, which is something I don't trust them to do consistently. But I think it's going to be another good game, and ultimately I just think they're going to go back to Raleigh on Saturday 1-1, and I think you're going to be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I think you should be. Hey, Jonathan, thanks, buddy. We'll talk to you again soon.
Yep, thanks for having me.
There he is, Jonathan Wagner from On3 Sports. Here is Dom Kasulki with a 94.3 The Game Sports Update and Pirate Report, and then Maeve English will be with us, so stay tuned. Here's Dom.
Thank you very much, Patrick. Here's your Pirate Report and Sports Update. Emma Jackson hit 2 home runs and recorded 3 RBIs as East Carolina sailed past Memphis in the second round of the American Athletic Conference Softball Championship at USF Softball Stadium. Jackson's first home run in the bottom of the third inning set a new single-season program record for home runs by a Pirate. She talked with ESPN Plus afterward.
I was just trying to think, hit the ball hard, especially in this conference tournament, because there's going to be a lot of, they're going to try to get you out, on balls and everything. Just pass the bat to Morgan behind me because she's been freaking hot lately. So just trying to get on base for her so she can just do her job, and then AK can do her job and just kind of pass the bat along. It wasn't really necessarily just, look for a certain pitch, just see ball, hit ball.
The offseason continues for the Panthers. Carolina opens rookie minicamp tomorrow. The Panthers selected 8 players in the 2025 NFL Draft, including Arizona wide receiver Tet McMillan, T-Mac, with the 8th overall pick. The Hurricanes are hoping to build off their victory in Game 1. The Canes visit the Capitals for Game 2 of their best-of-7 second-round series tonight in Washington. Carolina leads the series 1-0. That'll do it for your Pirate Report and Sports Update. We'll be right back on the Patrick Johnson Show with Maeve English and PJ.
Your roof is a vital part of protecting your home and family from dangerous storms and hurricanes. At Assist Roofing, we install and maintain metal roofing that provides precise protection. Add value to your home while lowering utility costs with a fortified roof to last a lifetime. With 0% financing, grants, and Energy Star Green Roofing tax credit available. Call us to schedule a free consultation so you can weather any storm with confidence.
Make every day electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's Cut in Color and let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
If you are interested in living longer and living stronger, Eastern Physical and Lifestyle Medicine is accepting new patients for a limited time. Finding a caring physician can be a challenge. Dr. Billy Smith is board certified in physical medicine and lifestyle medicine and has been practicing in the area for many years. Call for an appointment now to Eastern Physical and Lifestyle Medicine, 252-364-1108 in Greenville. That number again is 252-364-1108.
Looking for a great deal on a new Nissan?
At Greenville Nissan, we've got a great selection of new Nissans for under $30,000.
The stylish Nissan Sentra, offering top-notch fuel economy. The Nissan Altima, known for its comfort and technology.
The Nissan Kicks, the perfect combination with its compact design and performance. The Nissan Versa, delivering incredible value without compromising on features. And don't forget the Nissan Rogue, an award winner for 10 years in a row. Drive it home just for $22 down and $349 a month.
Visit GreenvilleNissan.com today.
Greenville Nissan, where we drive to serve.
Listen up. He's talking now.
Sorry, thought we were vibing.
The Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Okay, I don't think we have Maeve doing. Maeve is not in the house, is she?
Nope, checking.
I was
around
looking
the
forward to
lobby and
see.
everywhere. I don't see her.
I was looking forward to seeing the trophy. Oh, well, here we go. Wouldn't you know who won the pony? All right, well, in case you have not followed these things, maybe you don't care or you just don't pay attention to the news. The papal conclave was taking place today. In fact, they've named a new pope. He's an American-born pope. So as soon as the white smoke came billowing out of the chimney, which signifies the Pope in Vatican City has been, I guess, elected, the pirates, like very sneaky, the time that all this breaking news is going on, fire their manager today. Derek Shelton, Pittsburgh, we're talking about here. Now, Pirates have pretty lousy ownership. They don't spend a lot of money, no big free agent acquisitions. It's pretty sneaky, though. Worldwide news. It's like a Friday news dump. And you dump your manager. So, yeah, I thought that was intriguing. Good to have Wags on. You know, I was looking at those projections about who was going where, and Duke was a third seed in one of the areas. That's a Pirate opponent for NC State. A 2 seed up in the West Virginia regional. West Virginia's had a really good year with Randy Mazey's retirement, the old Pirate coach. So that's pretty interesting. And, you know, I think it's the thing I was looking at where Wags had Virginia Tech out, Virginia Tech was in. Pirates, of course, beat Virginia Tech earlier this year. Notre Dame was among the first 4 out, and what I was looking at earlier had Virginia as the next 4 out as well out of the ACC. We got baseball coming your way tomorrow. We'll lead you into ECU and UTSA. That is coming up on 6 o'clock. It'll be a 5:45 airtime tomorrow on 94.3 The Game and the IBX Media app. Also, coming up tomorrow, we'll be out at the first ever game to be played by the Down East Bird Dogs. They have made Granger Stadium their home. They're in the Frontier League. Danny Beal, a former Pirate, will be a starting pitcher for the Bird Dogs. So they will be going tomorrow from Granger Stadium. We will be there for all of the fun and excitement. Looking forward to the Bird Dogs season opener tomorrow. We'll be there, and we'll have a guest from there. I'm trying to get, again, Bill Ellis on the show tomorrow. Hope he will come by. We'll have some other great guests. I think Mark Miller will be broadcasting out there. So there'll be a lot of people out that way tomorrow we could talk to. I think our news partners at Channel 9 at 9 on Your Side are going to be doing their complete newscast from out there, which is kind of nuts, but that's what they're going to be doing. All right, let's hit a break. We'll come back and make sure we don't get Maeve here at the last instant, and we'll come back and wrap the show up. We'll do that right after this.
Hi, I'm D.R. Alligood.
And I'm his daughter, Jessica.
For 11 years, we have built quality driveways and parking lots for both your residential and commercial needs. We also offer free on-site quotes to have your custom driveways built the way you want.
252-946-1227.
It's time to bring on the savings at Greenville Toyota with huge discounts on over 125 new Toyotas, like a Camry, $269 a month, or RAV4, $339 a month. Now bring yourself to Greenville Toyota and save.
When a place is as special as this, you don't want to change a thing. You simply want to enjoy it, just as it is. That was our inspiration behind Bow Coast West, our newest community in Beaufort, North Carolina. Embrace all that we love about this very special place and make it easy for families to enjoy all that this coastal lifestyle has to offer. Be inspired. Bow Coast West.
At Parker's Barbecue, our family has been serving your family for 3 generations.
For that, we say thank you.
Blessing families every Thursday. Kids eat free all day. That's the Parker's way.
Legendary food served from our 3 locations. Always quick, always delicious. That's the Parker's way.
At Parker's, our mission is to impact our customers through Christ-like service in a way that feeds them both physically and spiritually. That is the Parker's way.
Need to insure a boat in Edenton, a business in Elizabeth City, a car in Greenville? How about a farm truck in Mount Olive or a home on the Outer Banks? Weatherly Insurance Agency, an independent insurance agency with 6 locations in eastern North Carolina, is here to help. Weatherly Insurance Agency has agents you can get to know because they're your neighbors and live in your town. Call today, 888-OBX-2-IBX, or on the web at weatherlyinsurance.com. From the Outer Banks to the Inner Banks, Weatherly Insurance has you covered.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Allen, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
Hi, I'm D.R. Alligood.
And I'm his daughter, Jessica.
For 11 years, we have built quality driveways and parking lots for both your residential and commercial needs. We also offer free on-site quotes to have your custom driveways built the way you want.
252-946-1227. Get ready, because it's time to bring on the savings at Greenville Toyota. Get huge discounts on over 125 new Toyotas, like a Corolla, $239 a month, or Tacoma, $349 a month. Bring on the savings today at Greenville Toyota.
And now, the stunning conclusion of the show. It's the P-Man here on 94.3 The Game.
All right, coming up tomorrow again, we'll be at the Bird Dogs opener. Some other news and notes from today. A couple of Panthers notes. Jadeveon Clowney, the 3-time Pro Bowler, has been released by the Panthers. Certainly, there's going to be a market for Clowney. He's going to play somewhere. Was pretty productive in 2023, in particular, with 9.5 sacks. And, I think overall had a pretty decent stint with Carolina. So Clowney will find somewhere to play. He's still a guy that can contribute, maybe not a regular down guy, but certainly can do that. Panthers have also reportedly placed Jonathan Brooks on the physically unable to perform list, meaning he will now be out for the 2025 season. That has been reported this afternoon. Let's see. Elsewhere, NC State in basketball, of course, Will Wade, a lot of excitement there. And Will Wade has, it's been announced, has made a deal or is in the process of finalizing a deal to play home and home with VCU starting in the 25-26 season. So coming up next year. Yeah, coming up next year. Be the first meeting between the two teams. Wade coached at VCU from 2015 to 2017. There would be a return game the following year in Richmond for NC State, going up to the Siegel Center, which is really a nice venue there. So that's a big pickup for an A-10 team. One other interesting note, former Alabama coach, one Orange Satan, joins another Orange Satan in people's minds. As former Alabama coach Nick Saban is anticipated he will co-chair the president's commission into college athletics. This comes after Trump met with Saban to discuss potential name, image, and likeness reforms. Additionally, Texas businessman Cody Campbell, the founder of Texas Tech's Matador Club NIL Collective and chairman of the Board of Regents at Texas Tech, will serve as a co-chair alongside Saban, according to reports. The commission would examine prominent issues facing college sports like the transfer portal, unregulated booster compensation that goes directly to athletes, the employment of college athletes, and Title IX, among other hot topics. Trump also recently in Tuscaloosa to deliver the University of Alabama's commencement speech. The president is also considering an executive order aimed at greater scrutiny towards NIL deals, though any executive order would likely still need congressional action. That's what the NCAA president, Charlie Baker, is saying as recently as April about this. Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville, who previously had stints coaching Auburn and Ole Miss, Texas Tech, and Cincinnati, also said that he spoke with the Trump administration about NIL. Tuberville saying in a post on social media, college football is the heart and soul of America, but it's in danger if we don't have a level playing field. Saban, I didn't realize this still maintains his office inside of Bryant-Denny Stadium and works in an advisory role with Crimson Tide Athletics, 7 national titles, retired from coaching in January of 24, and has remained a prominent figure in college football. Upon his decision to step away from Alabama, he was hired to work on College Game Day. So there you go. I think, are there things that Washington and Congress and the president need to be concentrating on that are much more important? Yes. But the NCAA is not going to put any guardrails on this, and there has to be some kind of structure. Now, it inevitably, because the courts will rule this way, will go towards what is best and perhaps most advantageous for the players. But I think what Saban and others are trying to get at here is, is there any way to figure out, or can you figure out a way in which you will find yourself as best you can? Because I saw something the other day. There's a handful of teams that are going to have 30, maybe even $40 million payrolls with their NIL. And they got a lot of NIL deals done, and they're trying to get a lot of NIL deals done before this House settlement comes through, because that kind of changes the rules of the game after that. So there's been a lot of Katie bar the door with this coming up the last few days. To me, again, some kind of guardrails are nice. I just wonder, how is this going to be a typical bureaucratic bloat DC thing? And maybe with Saban on there driving it, it would not be. I don't know enough about this Cody Campbell. Obviously, if he started the NIL collective at Texas Tech, he's got interest in this in a way that certainly has bought in and believes in it. I know Igo today had Hank Hinton on from our station, part of the Team Boneyard Collective. And you can revisit that and other shows, including this one today, if you are so inclined, by downloading the IBX Media app, free for Google Play and the App Store. By the way, I'm just seeing something here. I didn't realize the Celtics were up 20 again. Dom?
Yeah, it was 2 in a row. That's what I was saying.
I kind of tuned you out.
Yeah, that happens, doesn't it? Yeah, 20 again. It was pretty much identical. It was almost
and
like
you.
An
So you
game.
are of the opinion then that this is still salvageable.
Yeah, they've been up 20 both games. They won't choke in the rest of the games. They'll make an adjustment.
Did you think they would choke again last night?
I saw the signs. The signs were there. That's all I got to say. They showed at the end of the third quarter. They were starting to let them creep back in, went on like a little 6-0 run to end the third quarter. Then in the fourth quarter, Mikal Bridges comes out of nowhere, drops like 12 points, maybe like 3 threes in a row and a 3 later. He couldn't miss a shot. And then it got into crunch time, and none of the Celtics could make shots. There was 8 minutes straight without making a shot. They scored, I think, 6 points in the last couple minutes after not scoring for 8 minutes. It's ridiculous.
Cam Rising. Does that name ring a bell?
That does sound familiar. I'm trying to
So Cam Rising played quarterback most recently for the Utah Utes.
Okay.
How many years have you been in college, Dom?
This is my 4th year.
Okay.
Had to think
Cam
about it.
Rising played college football for 7 years.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, yes. That's why I know him. It's because everyone makes fun of him for how long he's been playing football.
He is medically retiring.
Oh, poor guy.
He just can't retire. He's got to medically retire. Let's see. He's been advised by 2 orthopedic physicians that he'll never be able to play football again and is seeking a third opinion as he will undergo surgery. Rising retires from the sport after 7 years. 7 years as a college football coach. How old is this dude? He's got to be 100.
I don't know.
He was the number 22 ranked quarterback in the 2018 class. That class included Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, among others.
That's insane.
All right. We'll try to get Maeve English back on another time. Sorry it didn't work out today, apparently. Also, thanks to having Jonathan Wagner with us. Also, thanks to Dom Kasulki. Congratulations, Dom. Good luck with everything tomorrow with your graduation. Happy for you. We'll be out at the ballpark tomorrow, Granger Stadium, for our show leading into the Bird Dogs and their opener, 5 o'clock on the Patrick Johnson Show. Hope we'll see you then.
Hi, I'm D.R. Alligood.
And I'm his daughter, Jessica.
For 11 years, we have built quality driveways and parking lots for both your residential and commercial needs. We also offer free on-site quotes to have your custom driveways built the way you want.
252-946-1227. It's time to bring on the savings at Greenville Toyota with huge discounts on over 125 new Toyotas, like a Camry $269 a month or RAV4 $339 a month. Now bring yourself to Greenville Toyota and save.
When a place is as special as this, you don't want to change a thing. You simply want to enjoy it, just as it is. That was our inspiration behind Bow Coast West, our newest community in Beaufort, North Carolina. Embrace all that we love about this very special place and make it easy for families to enjoy all that this coastal lifestyle has to offer. Be inspired. Bow Coast West.
At Parker's Barbecue, our family has been serving your family for 3 generations.
For that, we say thank you.
Blessing families every Thursday. Kids eat free all day. That's the Parker's way.
Legendary food served from our 3 locations. Always quick, always delicious. That's the Parker's way.
At Parker's, our mission is to impact our customers through Christ-like service in a way that feeds them both physically and spiritually. That is the Parker's way.
Need to insure a boat in Edenton, a business in Elizabeth City, a car in Greenville? How about a farm truck in Mount Olive or a home on the Outer Banks? Weatherly Insurance Agency, an independent insurance agency with 6 locations in eastern North Carolina, is here to help. Weatherly Insurance Agency has agents you can get to know because they're your neighbors and live in your town. Call today, 888-OBX-2-IBX, or on the web at weatherlyinsurance.com. From the Outer Banks to the Inner Banks, Weatherly Insurance has you covered.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Allen, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
Hi, I'm D.R. Alligood.
And I'm his daughter, Jessica.
For 11 years, we have built quality driveways and parking lots for both your residential and commercial needs. We also offer free on-site quotes to have your custom driveways built the way you want.
252-946-1227. Get ready, because it's time to bring on the savings at Greenville Toyota. Get huge discounts on over 125 new Toyotas, like a Corolla, $239 a month, or Tacoma, $349 a month. Bring on the savings today at Greenville Toyota.